Hello, Peter, and welcome to the Mark Baker Bowling Virtual Lesson Studio. Okay, I've received your videos, and I've watched them quite a bit, and I've looked at your notes. Obviously, you've changed your style recently, and so more like the Tom Smallwood way of doing things. Absolutely no problem with that. And I noticed some things from the side that we can work on, and I want to start looking at the back. I definitely think there's some things we can work on to get your average up and to get you hit your target more often and increase your strike percentage. Let's get to work. Okay, Peter, here I have you queued up from the back. Let's go ahead and take a look at this at full speed. Then we're going to break it down a little slower. See, that ball comes off the spot a little too steep, and you actually almost go from hitting the pocket to leaving a 3-pin. Again, looking at it full speed, it slows down, a little too much rotation. Okay, let's start breaking this down. So from the back, things I look for. Pretty good there. Nice crossover step. Excellent swing, excellent path your swing is on. There's an issue right there. When your pivot step starts bouncing to the right, that's not too bad. But right here, you still want to get that step to drop even more inside your head. Because see right here, here's your hand is perfectly in the ball. And you're going to see you get in the way of it right there. See how that slide goes across? When that slide goes across, watch your thumb turn. There you go. See right here in the shadow, the ball's off your hand. So when you're here and you drop it this way, see now your thumb's off it, but the ball's left your hand. Remember this, Peter. There's only two places to turn a ball. Behind your heel or in front of your toe. You've turned it before your heel. That's going to have an effect on your launch angle, how the ball goes in the lane, and it's going to affect your how you have rotation when the ball's coming off the spot. Usually it comes off too steep. As you can see here, you turn a little bit early, so it makes you lift your hips up to throw it, because the sensation of losing the ball makes people stand up. And look where the ball lands. It barely clears the foul line. We've got to work on that. So the first thing we're going to look at, most of the changes are going to be from the side, but from the back, when you get here, I like this. I want this foot, see where this foot is here? I want it to go directly straight. You bounce it out to the right, and that lets that, see now we got this issue where the slide comes back inside the pivot step. You want to really work on getting it there and have that slide go forward. If you do that, your hand can stay behind, because your hand is perfectly behind the ball there. If your slide got straighter, your hand wouldn't turn there. The reason why your hand turns, Peter, is because you're sliding into your swing, and nobody likes to hit their ankle with the ball. That only happens about once a day. You don't do that twice. So we got to get this slide a little straighter, because right now everything's lined up with your hand here. Then when your hand goes around the outside, now you put on too much rotation for the part of the lane you're playing. You're playing right of 12. Your break point's 3, 4, 5 down lane. You've got so much rotation, the ball's going to go lateral on the back. As you see that, you can see how your ball comes off the spot way too hard. It goes from hitting the pocket to leaving a trip 3-4. And you knock the 4 out, and you leave the 3-pin. So from the back, I just want to get your second step and your 4th step to look the same. Here's your second step. See how all this window inside? I want that same window in this step, and try to get the slide a little straighter. That'll help some of your release issues, and it's coming off your hand a little bit early. But we are going to address that from the back. From the side, excuse me. But from the back, a lot of things are good. I like your swing path. See right here? This is beautiful. See how your swing and your head match? That's really, really good. We just got to get that pivot step a little straighter, so your slide goes there, and your hand doesn't go around your ankle. Now let's look at the changes we're going to make from the side. Okay, Peter, here we have you queued up from the side. Let's play this at full speed. All right, not bad, little fall off. All right, let's play one more time. All right, let's start breaking this down. So, I can see here your hand. I think your thumb isn't in it at all. So we're going to more like Tom Doherty, or maybe your thumb's, maybe you've got a little bit of your thumb in there. Okay, right there. See, when you get here, here's what I want. When you stand at address, there is a certain amount of spine tilt you have in the beginning. Just a line I'm going to draw right there. All right. Third 12, it's between 8 and 14% for every bowler. I want you to maintain that the first 2 steps. What happens is you get your head quite a bit in front of it. So if I draw that same line, now this number has changed. There we go. So you've gone from 12 to 25. So you changed it 13 degrees. What's happened here, now your head and your second step don't match. When you get there, see, that's where I want your head to stop. That's as far as I want you to go in your push away. See where your head and your second step match right here? That's it. I don't want you diving forward like that. I want you to stay taller. So a little taller, more erect second step, because when you bend this quick, that makes that the fastest part of the swing. This has to be the slowest. We need to get the swing to the back later, not quicker and sooner. Because what happens when this gets quick, there's the second problem we have. Now your pivot step and your head doesn't match. So when you get here, see, now you'll see your foot doesn't catch the weight of your head. As you start watching some of the things I'm doing on Flow Bowling, or you look at all the pros, they all match there. They get that pivot step to get under their head. So when your pivot step short of your head in this spot, what I know I'm going to see next, I'm going to see early timing. And there's the early timing. So when your foot gets flat in front of your head, I'd like to see your swing here. And that's where the swing should be, so the ball should be hanging off the end of that. So what happens, Peter, when you go from, when you see, there's your timing spot. See, your foot should be flat in front of your head at this spot in your swing right there. Right there, you get it, so it's a little down. That's going to cause the shoulders, there you go. So what happens is, here's a beautiful spot right here, okay? You can't be early if you're going to increase your rev rate. So this is a nice number right here. 36 degrees, beautiful. You need to be able to maintain that so the ball doesn't fall off your hand early. You're going to notice your shoulders come back. That's because your second step and your fourth step, your upper body got in the way of your foot. Watch this. As your shoulders come back at release, there's the ball off your thumb. The ball should come off somewhere out here, so you've lost it early. But more importantly, look at the difference now in your spine tilt. You've decreased it 21 degrees. Maybe that's not quite right. Let's give you a little help here. There we go. So 16 degrees. That's more than the 10 I want. Actually, if we're going to do this, let's do it right. There's your ear. There's your hip. So 20 degrees. A 16 degree change from your timing spot to release point. Not that that's wrong, Peter, but you know what it really is? It's hard to change at 16 degrees every time. If it changed 12, the ball would stay in your hand longer. If you change it 20, it's going to come off your hand sooner. All those things have a direct relation to the hitting your target and also the consistency of rotation, so what your ball does down lane. So we've got to really work on getting this second step to get under your head. So you're too far forward there. I want this taller, so when you get to this position with the ball, I want your head back and up on top of your foot so I can slow down this part, so I can start to see this foot get under this head better. So when you get there, you're not as early and you don't pull back. You're able to keep your spine forward, get that release point later, and that's what we want to work on. That's that fall off. All that's happened is you're a little bit out of balance in your second and fourth step, causing you to have a little bit early timing, and that's causing you to turn the ball before your heel, not at the end of your toe. The earlier you turn it, the harder it is to hit your target. So again, we're going to go and do a quick recap, but I just want you to see that one more time. So we really got to get this piece taller. You've got to get not so far down, so I can slow this part down, so I get that pivot step back under your head and not be so early in your timing. So your shoulders stay forward. I can get your release point later and not to turn it early. Let's do a quick review. Okay, Peter, let's do a quick review of your lesson. So we just got to change a couple things because we're talking about accuracy. And I see it as controlling your rotation at the break point to increase your pocket percentage so you can strike more. The only way we're going to do that is by changing your second step and your fourth step. I just need to get where that feel where your head and that second step match in both the second step and the fourth step, because I'm trying to get your timing spot a little bit later. And now remember, we got to slide straighter. If we get that timing spot a little bit later, the ball's going to come off your hand later. When your timing is early and your shoulders come back, that's why you feel like the ball's falling off your hand a little bit. So you're adding on rotation and your shoulders coming around. And when your shoulder comes around, following through your target gets very tricky. You'll see it in lack of accuracy. So if we can get that ball to turn later and your swing to go forward on a longer plane, hitting your target will get much easier. And then your rotation will be more forward at the break point, not so much rotation where you can't control how much it hooks or doesn't hook at 45 feet. Excellent job on the videos. for changing your game over, I think you do pretty good. Your swing is really, really straight. So we're going to try to build the game on your swing and just fix your release point, when you turn it, and your timing. Peter, really enjoyed your videos. Hope someday to make it over to England to coach all you guys. I'll talk to you real soon.